Welcome to another episode of Real Estate, Real Life, Real Talk, Real Live with the real secrets of money with your host, myself, Damon, the agent, your real estate and protection advisor. Thank you all for joining me today. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been here, but guess what? I'm back. Today is Friday, June 5th, 2026. So what's going on, everybody? I just want to jump into the wonderful world of real estate. And as we begin, if you're not following me already, please follow me on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Threads, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest. So please make sure that you'll follow me. So today I want to briefly talk about a combination of everybody wants top dollars for their home. Everybody wants to build wealth and everybody wants financial freedom. But the real question is, are you protecting the wealth you're building? Because building wealth and protecting wealth are two different conversations. So what I want to say is that, again, everybody in real estate, people always focus on the sales price. They want top dollar. They want multiple offers. They want their home sold fast. But what actually creates top dollars is not luck. It's actually positioning, preparation, and presentation. It's taking care of your investment before it ever hits the market. Behind me, you'll see a picture of a farm. Okay, I just put that farm on the market. A lot of interest in it. It's a chicken farm in Carroll County, Maryland. But I want to let you all know that what actually is king is cleanliness matters, odors matters, paint colors matters, deferred maintenance matters, landscaping matters, lighting matters, updated kitchen and bathrooms help. Buyers pay more when they feel confident in a property that they walk into. And honestly, I'm sorry, I'm saying honesty. Honestly, these things are key, but people often overlook these things. Now, a lot of people spend years building equity in their home, years building savings, years building retirement accounts, years building home assets, but they never take the time to protect what they built. And that's where financial protection comes into this conversation with us. Most people insure their phones, their cars, and their homes, but they never protect the income that pays for all of it. And see, I briefly mentioned on one of my podcasts before about mortgage protection, but did you know there's a thing called income protection? There's a thing called living benefits, protecting families from financial hardship. See, when things happen, that's when everyone panics, but people don't put themselves in a position to prevent these things before they happen. Retirement protection also exists against market volatility concerns. Now, some people know what that is, while others may not know. Basically, for those who hold a 401k, many people, they look at their 401k go up and down. They say, oh, when the market's up, my money's up. Oh, the market went down. Yeah, they took $20,000, but it's going to come back up. But here's the thing. Did you know there were things to prevent that loss? Meaning when the market goes down, your money never goes down, no matter where it is, but it always goes up. Leaving a legacy instead of debt is very keen when it pertains to building wealth, whether it's through real estate or your financial products. And even though I'm talking about this isn't about fear. It's about preparation because, we all have an expiration date on this earth. And when we expire, what are you actually leaving your family? Are you leaving them a legacy or are you leaving them bills? Unfortunately, most people leave their family bills. That's why a lot of times people create the GoFundMe account. That's why GoFundMe is so popular because most people leave their family a bill. It's about making smart decisions while things are going well and while you are still here. Now, I've seen situations where families work their entire lives for their homes, only to lose their home once the breadwinner or the homeowner has passed away or unfortunately had a serious heart I'm saying not heart, health issue that made them not be able to afford the home anymore. Sometimes they have to sell the home. In many cases, they don't want to sell the home, but they have to because they weren't in a position to keep the home. I've also seen those who have had protection in place, and instead of struggling, they had options. That's a huge difference. Struggling, not struggling. We all been there in many cases. And if you haven't, you will experience it in lifetime. And I say these things because sometimes people think financial products only benefit you after you pass away. That's not true. I mentioned about living benefits, but modern protection plans now include living benefits that may help during certain health situations while you're still alive. There's so many unexpected illness, loss of income that can help family protection. You need to create an emergency access, which also helps to create a peace of mind. Financial stability during difficult seasons is very critical these days. We're in an uncertain economy. We have uncertain things that happen in life. It's called like recessions occur. People lose jobs. People get health issues. Even if you don't get a health issues, people get in unexpected car accidents or accidents on the job. Unfortunately, when these things occur, people don't think about it until things happen. The goal isn't just to build wealth. The goal is to keep your family from losing everything that you worked hard for to build. Meaning some people are working jobs that they've been on for 10, 20 plus years. You build up your 401k, you build up your pension, you build up all these things. But if you had an unexpected, unforeseen circumstance that occurred today and you lost everything tomorrow, are you in a place right now to protect what you worked so many years for? Unfortunately, no. And I say all these things because whether you are buying real estate, building a business, growing your retirement accounts, or simply trying to create stability for your family, just don't focus on building. Focus on protecting too. Real wealth isn't just about what you earn, it's about what you keep. This is the reason why you see many millionaires eventually go broke, because even like professional athletes or people who hit the lottery, because they're focused on what they get, excuse me, but they're not focused on what they keep. What you protect and what you leave behind matters. Excuse me. I'm just getting over a cold, so please forgive me. If you've been thinking about buying a home, protecting your income, review your current coverage, or just learning about financial protection options, please reach out to me. I'd love to have a real conversation with you. No pressure, just education, strategy, and helping families make smart decisions. The reason why I say this to you is because I am a person who holds many licenses in the real estate world and also in the financial product world too. I've seen on both sides, in real estate and in the financial product side, where people have been in good positions. And I've also seen where people have been in bad position. I'm not here to sell you anything because everybody knows every house I touch turns to sold. I'm here to help you realize that you have to set up things for your future, because I've been seeing so many things lately where there have been so many people who built so much over the years, whether they build equity in their homes, whether they build their careers and job, and I've seen where they've lost it all. So I feel like God didn't give me these licenses just to have them for me. He's given them to me for me to help you. So again, I strongly suggest for you to reach out to me so we can have a real conversation, because anybody who knows me know that I'm a realist. And what that means is basically I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm dead honest with you, because here's the thing. If I'm not honest with you, life is going to be honest with you when it shows you certain things. I just tell it like it is. Facts are facts. That's all I can give you, are the facts, plain and simple. So I'll be back with my Q&A. All right, all right. Again, thank you again for joining me. And if you're not following me on all social media platforms, please make sure that you do so I can follow you back. And also, I want to make sure that if you have any questions when it pertains to real estate, please send me your questions because I love all the real estate questions that are always asked to me. I think they're so great. And I know people love it because I get all the time. They love to hear these questions. So the first question of the day is, should I disclose everything wrong with my home if I'm selling it? Should I disclose everything wrong with my home if I am selling it? Great question. Let me explain something when it pertains to selling your home. It is very, very important to be honest, because if you're not honest, if you're trying to hide something, it can, and sometimes often does, will come back and bite you in the butt later on. Meaning there have been people who sold homes who've had water issues, water damages. They did not disclose it, but the buyers have found out after they purchased the home. And because it was never disclosed, they end up suing the sellers in many cases. Listen, honesty is the best thing. Stop trying to hide stuff. Either get stuff fixed or disclose it. When you disclose it, you leave the buyers having the option of whether they want to move forward with the home. Sometimes they specialize. You got people who work in all types of areas in the world. It might be someone in the family who specializes in fixing whatever is wrong with your home. It is best to always be honest. In most cases, yes, being upfront about known issues help protect you legally, builds buyers' trust, and prevents deals from falling apart later during and after home inspection. Transparency usually creates smoother transactions and stronger negotiations. Again, like I said, please be honest. I don't know why people are not honest all the time, but yes, you should disclose everything that's wrong with your home. I'm not talking about, oh, if the light bulb is not working or something to that effect. I'm talking about known things such as water damage, mold issues, roofing damage, things of that nature. Yes, it is very vital and very important to disclose everything. Question number 2. Question number 2. What's one thing every homeowner should do annually? What's one thing every homeowner should do annually? All right. One thing that they should do annually is they should always review their tax statement, because even though most people are paying their mortgage through a mortgage company, and the mortgage company a lot of times pays the taxes and stuff, you want to make sure that your taxes are actually correct and that they're not inflating the prices when you're paying your mortgage. That's one thing. Another thing that you should always do is service your HVAC systems. Your HVAC systems need to be serviced annually. They really need to be checked twice a year minimum, meaning when the seasons change. When it gets cold outside, you want to get them inspected then so they're properly functioning for winter. And when it's warm outside, you want to get them inspected also so they're properly functioning for the summer. You also want to check the roof, clean the gutters, and seal any cracks to prevent expensive repairs and to help preserve your home's values. These are things that you should do on an annual basis. Now, spring, they always like to say spring cleaning. Spring is the best time to do a lot of these things. So if you're looking for what time of the year to do a lot of these things, why don't you just begin in the springtime? Except, like I said, with the HVAC, I recommend twice a year. All right. Question number 3. How often should homeowners review their insurance? How often should homeowners review their insurance? I just mentioned about this, and I never even looked at these questions. So at least once a year, anytime there's a major life change, renovation, refinance, or increase in your property value, like I mentioned before, you want to check about the taxes and your insurance every year. Many homeowners are either underinsured or paying for outdated coverage. Check your insurance every year. And even though I'm talking about houses right now, you want to do the same thing with your car insurance too, because as you'll know, car insurance go up all the time when people get in accidents and stuff. Check your car insurance every year. And the one thing that I would give about car insurance is review other companies every year also, because sometimes you'll find a better deal. Question number 4. How do you protect your home's value? How do you protect your home's value? You protect your home's value by staying ahead of maintenance, keeping the property clean and updated, and improving the curb appeal. Meaning, I know many times people who own homes, they have neighbors who don't cut the grass. They have neighbors who have trash out front. They got people who loiter and put junks in front of the home. That brings the property value down. If you stay on top of things, meaning when things break, instead of patching them up, a band-aid repair, to actually get them fixed, things of that nature will help in the long term to prevent more expensive repairs down the line, and also that will help to protect the property's value. Because if and when you do decide to sell your property, you want your house to stand out from the rest. Question number 5. What makes a buyer's offer stronger? What makes a buyer's offer stronger? Well, there are several things when it pertains to when a buyer makes an offer. What makes their offer stronger? Strong financing, fewer contingency, flexible timeline, the bigger the earnest money deposit. Meaning, for example, it's typical nowadays that most people do 1% of the sales price. But if you're doing, let's say, a FHA loan, and you have to put 3.5% down, why not put 3 to 3.5% down as your earnest money deposit? That clearly sticks out because everybody does the same thing. The key when you're making offers to stick out from everyone else. Sometimes the strongest offer isn't the highest price. It's the one that gives the seller the most confident that the deal will actually close. Okay, remember that. Sellers are looking for the least risk when you're making offer, and they want to make sure that it's going to close. These are the things that are very critical when you're talking about making a strong offer. Holding a conversation with an experienced real estate professional such as myself that can negotiate and navigate you through the transaction effectively, efficiently, and with the ultimate goal of sold. So I just want to say that. All right. What's my thing? That's the Q&A. All right. I'll be back in 1 second or less. All right. Now, and again, like I said in the beginning, please follow me on all social media platforms. If you're not following me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Threads, Snapchat, TikTok, Pinterest, and YouTube. All right. Please follow me on all social media platforms. Now, my topic of today is one life. The reason why I want to talk about this is we all have one life to live. Every day there's someone dying. A week from today is a good buddy that I used to work with. His name was Jerry Johnson. I used to work with him at Remax. He passed away on May 29th. His funeral was a week from today. So I may not be here next Friday. I'm just giving y'all the heads up right now. But I think about that when I look at Jerry, when I look at so many people who are passing away. We all have one life to live. And a lot of times we are more concerned about what others think about us than we think about ourselves. We're concerned about everything, the opinions of others, when they really don't matter, because most people these days gossip and they talk about their own family members. They talk about their mother, their father, their brother, their sisters, their spouse, their own children. There's so many miserable people in the world today that is really unbelievable. Life is hard. Life be lifing for everyone. And when I say that, meaning like we all have one life to live. If you're going to be so reflective of what others think of you, you'll never get ahead in life. If you do what you feel and don't have no care, and as if a eagle or a bird is flying, you'll get so much further in the world. I say these things to say, live your life and don't care what nobody say or think about you, because people are going to have their opinion anyway. And opinions are like buttholes. Everybody have them. And then on top of that, just because somebody has an opinion of you doesn't matter, because if people are not financing you, if they're not feeding you, and if they're not being intimate with you, their opinion should not really matter of you. You only have one life to live. You have to live your life to the fullest, because when we're all said and done and we have to answer before God, what is God going to say? In the Bible, it talks about the men who have many talents. And so many of us have talents that we're letting go to waste. You have to tap into whatever it is your talent is and make sure you don't make it go to waste, because you're never too young or too old to do anything. Like I said, it doesn't matter what anyone think or say about you. It matters more so about what you think or say about you. Because if you believe you're going to win, you're going to win. If you believe you're going to lose, you're going to lose. Life and death is in the power of your tongue. What do you actually believe? because what you believe has more of an impact than what anybody can say, regardless of who they are. So you have to right now start to look yourself in the face, in the mirror, and start to determine what it is that you want to get out of your life. You know, so a lot of years have gone behind you. How many years are in front of you? And out of those years in front of you, what is it that you want to achieve? Because again, we all have one life to live. And life is for the making. Life is for living. Life is for enjoying. Yes, there's pain, there's misery, there's dark, there's bad, in the world, but there's also good, pleasure, things to live for. And you wake up every day. That means God is giving you another chance to do the things that you need to do in this world. Don't let that day go to waste, because before you go to sleep, you should at least accomplish something. But again, this is your life. You only have one life. Who cares what anybody else have to say? People going to talk. People talked about Jesus. Don't matter where you are, how good you are. People going to talk. When Jordan used to play, people talked about him. When Kobe used to play basketball, people talked about him. When Aaliyah played, people talked about her. Elizabeth Taylor, people talked about her. The point that I'm making is people are always going to have something negative to say. If you look on social media, people always got something to say. Everybody have an opinion. But how does that affect you in your life? Are you going to let other people's opinion control you and your destiny? Or are you going to start to focus on what it is you need to do out of your life, so by the time you live here, you left a legacy to your family or whomever? The choice is really yours. I'm just here to let you know that this was put on me today to talk about, because somebody out there really needs to hear this. You have one life to live. Why are you not living it? The reason you're not living it is because you don't look at you like God looks at you. God looks at you as an individual human being that's been placed on this earth to achieve great things. But instead of achieving great things, you're letting all these other people influence you more so than him. See, the thing is, though, is we all have talents, we all have gifts, and we all have been negatively influenced by people. But there's also positive people who've also influenced us. You got to tap into what you truly believe. If you believe you're going to win, you're going to win. If you believe you're going to lose, you already lost. It's really up to you. Every people you see compete in sports think they're going to win, whether it's in boxing, basketball, track, football. Once they get out there, they think they're going to win. Somebody does eventually lose. But even when you lose, you don't really lose. You learn a lesson. You really learn a lesson. And the lesson is supposed to help you come back to be better. And the only reason why I say these things is because sometimes life can be it can defeat so many people. Life can be so overwhelming for people that sometimes people are just tired. And I'm just here to tell you that even if you get tired in life, take a break, take a nap, rest if you must, but don't quit. Don't stop. Because a lot of times when you're quitting or getting ready to quit, your blessing is right around the corner, or it was right on the brink, but you never reached it or achieved it because you gave up too soon. I say this to say, and I'll say it again. You only have one life to live. How are you living your life? Because here's the thing. A lot of us are disappointed in so many things that go on. We've been disappointed in relationships. We've been disappointed in kids. We've been disappointed in parents. We've been disappointed even in our own self, and it really goes back to you, because there's so many people in this world who live with depression. That means they can't even make their own self happy because they're in depression. So, of course, nobody's going to be able to make them happy. And the point that I make is this: only you can make you happy. This is your life. There's something that you're supposed to achieve in this lifetime. It's something you're supposed to do, and you haven't done it yet. Tap into it, because you only have one life to live. And while you're still alive on this planet, I hopefully can reach one person, at least one person that you know. Go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, and ask yourself, are you tapped at your highest potential of life? Have you achieved all the goals that you want to achieve? And if the answer is no, I strongly suggest you go write those things down. I strongly suggest that from this day moving forward, that you focus on your goals, to whatever it is you want to do. If you want to write a book, if you want to sing, if you want to lose some weight, if you want to cook, if you want to do anything, tap into it. You only have one life to live. Here's the thing. People are going to talk about you whether you dead or alive, whether you good or bad, whether you rich or poor. People are going to talk about you. Forget what people talk about. Block everyone out and focus on what it is that you need to do, because you have one life to live, and this is your life. And I'm going to go out on this commercial. And again, I won't be back next week. I will be back in 2 weeks from today. And I thank you each and every day that you'll take the time to join me. I really, really appreciate it. Again, this is a farm behind me. I'm going to post it next week for you all to see it more in depth. But until then, enjoy this commercial.
We sure could use the money.
Time for some upgrades. We're pregnant.
Oh my goodness, I need to downsize.
We buy houses for cash as is.
Damon the Agent. A name you can trust.